South Lebanon is an absolute disaster, and this is going to cause havoc for the incoming Trump administration. Have a look at this clip from Channel 14 News in Israel.
יום שני של עימותים בדרום לבנון. אתמול חיזבאללה ניסה לכפות על ישראל חזרה חד צדדית של התושבים למה שנותר מבתיהם, והתגובה הנחרצת של צה"ל השפיעה. לעטו, יא חרם לפי הדיווחים בלבנון, לפחות 22 פעילי חיזבאללה נהרגו וכמאה נפצעו. במסגרת הסכם הפסקת האש בין ישראל למדינת לבנון, היה אמור צה"ל לסגת אתמול. במקומו היה אמור להיפרס צבא לבנון באזור הגבול, במקום חיזבאללה. חלש לא הגיע, וצה"ל סירב לסגת ולהשאיר חלל שאליו יוכל חיזבאללה להיכנס. היום דווח, בתאום עם האמריקאים מוארך הסכם הפסקת האש עד ל-18 בפברואר. לפי הדיווחים, ייתכן שגם יתנהל משא ומתן על שחרור מחבלי חיזבאללה שנפלו בשבי.
On November 26th, Israel signed a 60-day ceasefire deal with Hezbollah. It was negotiated by the Americans and a number of other Western nations. According to the deal, the Lebanese army and the Lebanese security forces are to be the only armed groups authorized to operate in southern Lebanon. Now, that hasn't happened. The Lebanese army has not deployed. According to the deal, they're supposed to bring 5,000 of their troops south of the Litani River to police the area and make sure that Hezbollah does not begin to operate there again. So that hasn't happened yet, so Israel can't leave. In addition, another clause in the deal is that any unauthorized weapons are to be confiscated. And we know that there are still lots of unauthorized weapons there. As you see on your screen, this is just from a week ago. Israel continues to find rocket launchers and weapons stores in this area of South Lebanon. Also, the deal says that there's supposed to be an oversight committee established, assure enforcement of the ceasefire. And this oversight committee is supposed to include the Americans and the British and the French and the Germans. This oversight committee is not operating yet. There's no mechanism to report violations. Also, according to the deal, Hezbollah and its operatives are meant to withdraw north of the Litani River. They haven't done so. The Hezbollah guys are still coming south of the Litani River. This started getting violated on day one of the deal. The deal was signed on November 26th. On November 27th already, Hezbollah operatives with their weapons were driving trucks into South Lebanon, south of the Litani River, testing the Israelis. And the Israelis, of course, enforced the ceasefire at the time, but they continue to make efforts to come south of the Litani River. And we know that, as I said, that they still have weapons there. Finally, the deal says that Israel retains complete military freedom of action to attack in the event of any violation, which they've been doing. That's been called by the left-wing mainstream media and by the Arab nations, that's been called a violation of the agreement, but Israel is really just enforcing the agreement against violations. As you can see, there are so many clauses in this agreement that have not been adhered to, making it impossible for Israel to withdraw its forces from South Lebanon and ensure the security of its northern towns. And then on Sunday, at the end of the 60 days, hordes of Lebanese civilians start trying to return to their homes in South Lebanon. Take a look at this clip.
התושבים האלה הם רובם שיעים שאפשרו לחיזבאללה להפוך את הכפרים שלהם לבסיסי טרור. הם אינם תומכי חיזבאללה, אלא בשר מבשרו של ארגון הטרור. רוב הדגלים שמונפים ביומיים האחרונים בדרום לבנון הם דגלים צהובים של חיזבאללה. רשת אל-מנאר, הטלוויזיה של ארגון הטרור, מנצחת על המקהלה.
هذه المقاومة حية، هذا الشعب حي، هؤلاء الشهداء أحياء.
צבא לבנון היה אמור לבלום את תיאמון, אבל נכשל במשימה. חלק מהמקומות נראו אנשי צבא לבנון ליד חיילי צה"ל, ובחלק אחר מלווים את התושבים. אולי גם הם בעצמם אינם יודעים מה הם עושים שם. האירועים האלה אינם מגיעים משום מקום. חיזבאללה נמצא בשפל היום, לאחר חיסול ההנהגה הבכירה שלו והפגיעה ביכולותיו הצבאיות במלחמה האחרונה. עכשיו הם מנסים להראות שהם עדיין רלוונטיים, וברחבי לבנון הציבור שלהם יוצא במפגני תמיכה.
Let's be clear. The civilians you see here returning to the towns south of the Litani River are Hezbollah. Now, as he said in that video, they're not just Hezbollah supporters or Shiite Muslims who have an affinity for it. This is Hezbollah. Let me explain. The towns south of the Litani River that overlook the northern Israeli towns, where all the rockets were being launched from, were built by Hezbollah. The people who live there are the Hezbollah leadership and operatives and their families, and their homes are used as the bases of operation. The tunnels that were dug to infiltrate Israel and to be used as underground bases are in these towns. These towns are Hezbollah. Hezbollah families are the people who live in these towns, and they're the people who are now trying to come back in droves. There's still weapons caches in this area. When these people come back to their towns, their plan is to resume their operations. And as you see from this video, it's not like they're discouraged or are having a change of heart and maybe no longer supporting Hezbollah because of the destruction they've brought. On the contrary, they are declaring victory. They're still waving their Hezbollah flags, and they have every intention of coming back to their towns and continuing to threaten Israel. So as long as the Lebanese army's not there and the international oversight is not being done and Israel cannot be secure, Israel is not withdrawing. And this situation is coming to a head because, as you see in the video, hundreds of thousands of these Hezbollah people are trying to force their way back into these towns. The situation is getting very, very tense. Now, this has impact on the Trump administration. You see, this whole deal was designed to kind of handcuff the Trump administration. You see, Trump wants to be a peacemaker. He wants to end war. He doesn't want there to be flare-ups during his time in office. So this deal that was signed on November 26th for 60 days was designed to go just a few days into the Trump administration. And that way, when Trump comes into office, there's no active war going on between Israel and Hezbollah. And the last thing that Trump wants is for an active war to begin. So this incentivizes President Trump and his team to pressure Israel not to start attacking Hezbollah again, because again, Israel did not finish the job in wiping out Hezbollah. That all ended because of this ceasefire deal. And now we have Israel stuck where the Trump administration will be trying everything to prevent Israel from resuming its destruction of Hezbollah. So looking downrange, here's how things are going to play out. The Lebanese army is not going to be protecting Israel. They're not going to stop Hezbollah from rearming. In many cases, the Lebanese army has been helping Hezbollah out. And this whole deal was really designed to make it more difficult for Israel to finish the job in destroying Hezbollah. And we're going to see this all coming to a head as this extension comes to an end on February 18th. So that's what's going on in South Lebanon. It is a dangerous situation. It is a volatile situation, and we will be watching it very closely.